day everyone! I am Mrs. Aileen O, Tumbali, your Mathematics 10 teacher. How are you today? I hope you are all doing well. This video lesson will help you understand our lesson in math this fourth quarter.
I gave you my heart.
Before we start, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and enable the notification bell for you to be updated for more videos. Do you have a sharp memory? Let's check it out. The following are scores of 10 students in their 40-item quiz. 34, 23, 15, 27, 36, 21, 20, 13, 33, 25. The first question. What are the scores of the students which are less than or equal to 25% of the data? Very good. That's 13 and 15. Next. What are the scores of the students which are less than or equal to 65% of the data? Great. 13, 15, 20, 21, 23, and 25. Last question. What are the scores of the students which are less than or equal to 80% of the data? Very good. There's none. Did you find the previous activity easy? How were you able to answer it? Okay. So are you now ready to get the measures of position in the group data? Okay, let's go. But before we start, let us have our objectives. So our first objective is to interpret measures of position using group data. Next, solve problems involving measures of position using group data. So let's move on with the definition. So for percentiles, percentiles are values that divide a set of data into 100 equal parts. Percentiles are calculated for very large data. Deciles. Deciles are values that divide a set of data into 10 equal parts. And then quartiles. Quartiles are values that divide a set of data into 4 equal parts. Each part is equal to quarter of the data. Again, for percentile, we have 100 parts. For decile, we have 10 equal parts. And then for quartiles, we have 4 equal parts. For formula, we have for percentiles, T sub k is equals to LB plus k times n over 100 minus CF sub b all over f sub p sub k times I. For deciles, we have D sub k is equals to LB plus k times n over 10 minus CF sub b all over f sub d sub k times I. For quartiles, we have Q sub k is equals to LB plus k times n over 4 minus CF sub b all over f sub q sub k times I. So you can see that the formulas are the same except for the P. For the percentile, we have P. For decile, we have here D. And then for quartile, we have Q. And for the denominator, we have here 100 for percentile, 10 for decile, and 4 for quartiles. Where LB is equals to the lower boundary, N is equals to the total frequency, CF sub B is equals to cumulative frequency before the class, F is equals to frequency of the class, and then I is equals to the size of the class interval. Now let's have our first example. We will solve for percentile. So we have to calculate the 70th percentile of the statistics test scores of 50 students. So we are only given here the data of the scores, the data or the scores, and the corresponding frequency. So first, for our solution, we will complete our frequency distribution table. So we will just fill in our LB our LB or our lower boundary, and then our less than CF or less than cumulative frequency. So for our LB, we will just subtract 0.5 to the left side of our classes. So 46 minus 0.5, we have 45.5. Next, 41 we have minus 0.5, we have 40.5. 36 minus 0.5, we have 35.5. 31 minus 0.5, we have 30.5. 26 minus 0.5, we have 25.5. And then 21 minus 0.5, we have 20.5. And then also don't forget that the total number of frequency is equal to 50, or our n is equals to 50. Now, for our less than cumulative frequency, we will start by writing the total number of frequency here. So we will have 50 then. And then we will subtract 50 to the first frequency, which is 4. So we have 50 minus 4. We will write here 46. And then next, 46 minus 8. We will have here 38. And then next, 38 minus 11. We will have here 27. And then 27 minus 9. We will have here 18. 18 minus 12. We will have here 6. And this is correct because if we will subtract the last number, this one 6, to the last CF, we will come up with 0. So for our P sub 70, we will use the formula we have shown earlier, the K times N over 100. So for K, we will substitute 70 because we are looking for P sub 70, and then the N, we will substitute it with 50 since our N is equals to 50, and then this is over 100 because we are looking for the percentile. So 70 times 50 is equals to 3,500. Divided by 100, we have 35. Very good. Now, we will look where 35 belongs, where this 35 belongs to this. So it does not belong here to the first row, to the 6, because it is until only 6. It also does not belong here to the second row because it is only until 18. It is also not belong here to the third row because it is only until 27. However, the 35 belongs here to the fourth row or to the 38 because as you can see, this is 27, and in this fourth row we have the numbers 28 to 38, and this is where the 35 belongs. So that will be our second step. Our P sub 70 class belongs to this row. Now, let's determine what will be our lower boundary. So our lower boundary is equals to 35.5 because it belongs here in the fourth row. Next, our N is equals to 50 because our total frequency is 50. And then our CF sub B is equals to 27. Why? Because the cumulative frequency before, we are looking for the cumulative frequency before, we have here the word B. So since our 35 belongs here in the fourth row, so we will get the cumulative frequency before the 38. So this is 27. Okay. Next, our F sub P sub K is equals to 11 because it's also in the fourth row, in this row. So we will be using the 11. And then for I, we have 5. So why is it 5? Why our interval is 5? We get 5 because we can subtract this one. For example, 50 minus 5, we have 5. 45 minus 40, we have 5 also. And then from here, 30 minus 25, we have 5. So therefore, I is equals to 5. So again, the 35th score is also within this interval, the 36 to 40. So now we will be using the formulas. We will be substituting all the data we have earlier. So again, we're looking for the 35th score. So these are given. LB is 35.5, N is equals to 50, CF sub B is equals to 27, F sub P sub K is equals to 11, and then our I is equals to 5. So the P sub 70 class is in the class interval 36 to 42. So again, this is the formula. T sub 70 is equals to LB plus K times N over 100 minus CF sub B all over F sub B sub K times I. Now, we will substitute it. So, for our LB, we have 35.5 plus, and then 70 or our K, and then 50 our N, and then over 100, minus our CF sub B, which is 27, all over the F sub B sub K, which is 11, and then our I, which is 5. Now, so 35.5 plus, so this one, we have here the 35, so we can write here 35 here, and then minus 27 over 11 times 5. Next, what is 35 minus 27? So we have 8 over 11. Next, what is 8 over 11? So we have 0.73 times 5. Now, we can already multiply this. So 0.73 times 5, what is the answer? Okay, very good. So we have 3.64. Now, we can now add these two. So 35.5 plus 3.64 is equals to 39.14. Very good. So therefore, 70% of the students got a score less than or equal to 39.14. So let's see if it's really correct. If this 39.14 really belongs to the fourth row here. So it's belong here because the class interval score here is 36 to 40. So the 39.40 really belongs here. Okay. So any questions? Okay, let's proceed with the illustrative example number 2. So calculate the 6th decile of the statistics test scores of 50 students. So we are given the data or the scores and then its corresponding frequency.
So first, for our solution, we will complete again our frequency distribution table. So we will just fill in our lower boundaries and then our less than cumulative frequency. So again, what is the formula in finding the lower boundaries? Very good. We will just subtract 0.5 to the left side of our class interval. So 46 minus 0.5, we have 45.5. 41 minus 0.5, we have 40.5. And then next, 35.5. Next, 30.5, 25.5, and 20.5. So again, don't forget that our total frequency is 50 or our N is equals to 50. And then for the less than cumulative frequency, so we will start by writing the total frequency here, which is 50. And then subtract the first frequency, which is 4. So 50 minus 4, we have 46. And then 46 minus 8, we have 38. 38 minus 11, we have 27. 27 minus 9, we have 18. And then 18 minus 12, we have 6. So again, this is correct because if we will subtract these two, we will come up with the 0. Next, so we are looking for the D6 class. So if we are looking for the D6 class, we're gonna use the formula for decile, which is K times N over 10. So our K here is 6 because we are looking for the D6, and then our N again is 50. So 6 times 50, we have 300. So 300 divided by 10 is equals to 30. This means we need to find the class interval where the 38th score is contained. So it does not belong here to the first row because it is only until 6. It does not belong to the second row because it is only until 18. It does not belong to the third row because it is only until 27. However, it belongs to the fourth row where the class interval is 36 to 40, because as you can see, the 38 here, so it will start to 28 to number 38. So the 38th score belongs to the class interval 36 to 40. So now let's find what are the other givens. So for our LB, we have 35.5, this one, and then our N is 50. And then CF sub B is equals to 27 because again, there is the word before the cumulative frequency. And then our cumulative frequency is 38, so we need to find the number before it. So it's 27. Next, f sub d sub k is equals to 11. It is the frequency of the said class interval. And then next for the I is 5. So I already explained why it become 5. So 50 minus 45, we have 5. 45 minus 40, it's 5. Okay, so let's proceed with the formula and then substituting the given here. So now for our next step, we will now use the formula and then substitute the given. So again, D6 class is we come up with the 30th score. We need to find the 30th score, and then the given, the LB is equals to 35.5, the N is equals to 50, the CF sub B is equals to 27, the F sub D sub K is equals to 11, and RI is equals to 5. And then the D6 class is in the class interval 36 to 40. So the formula again in finding the decile is D6 is equals to LB plus N over 10 minus CF sub B all over F sub FD6 times I. And then let's substitute the given. So for our LB, let's substitute 35.5. And then for our N, substitute 6. The K is 6, and then the N is 50 all over 10 minus CF sub B, which is 27, all, and then over F, which is 11, and then the I is 5. Next, we have 35.5 plus the 30 minus 27 over 11 times 5, and then let's simplify the 30 minus 27. So 30 minus 27, we have 3 over 11, and then let's simplify again the 3 over 11. It's 0.27. So 0.27 times 5, we have 1.36. And then we can now add these two. So 1.36 plus 35.5, we have 36.86. So therefore, 60% of the students got a score less than or equal to 36.86. And also remember that the 6th decile is equivalent to the 60th percentile. So let's see. Okay, so the 36.86 is in this class interval 36 to 40. Okay? Okay, very good. Any questions? None. Okay, so let's proceed with the next example. So let's calculate the Q3 or the Q sub 3 of the statistics test scores of 50 students. So again, we are given here the data or the scores and then the frequency. And then the corresponding frequency, rather. So for the next step, so again, we need to find the lower boundaries. So again, we need to find the lower boundaries and then the less than cumulative frequency. So we are very familiar already how to find the lower boundary. So we will just subtract the 0.5 here. So let's subtract it. So 45.5 and then 40.5, 35.5, 30.5, 25.5, 20.5, and then again, don't forget that our F, our total frequency or our N is equals to 50. So in writing the less than cumulative frequency, again, we will start with the total frequency, which is very good, 50. So 50 minus 4, we have 46. 46 minus 8, we have 38. 38 minus 11, we have 27. 27 minus 9, we have 18. And then 18 minus 12, we have 6. And then 6 minus 6, we have 0. So again, it is correct because we come up with 0. So now we will use the formula for quartile now. So 3n over 4 is equals to 3 times 50 over 4. So why is it 3? Because we are looking for the Q sub 3. And then why is it 4? Because we are looking for the quartile. So the denominator here is 4. Now, what is 3 times 50? So 3 times 50 is equals to 150 over 4. So what is 150 divided by 4? It's 37.5. So this means that we need to find a class interval where the 37.5th score is contained. Okay, so again, it does not belong here because it is only until 6. And then to the second row, it is only until 18. To the third row, it is only until 27. And then to the fourth row, it belongs here because we are looking for the 37.5 score, and then the number here is up to number 38. So this shows that the 37.5 score is within this class interval, the class interval 36 to 40. So now let's proceed with our given. So our LB is 35.5, our N is equals to 50, our CF sub B is equals to 27. Again, it is 27 because we are looking, there is the word before. So our cumulative frequency is 38, and then we are looking for the before, so it's 27. And then our F is equals to 11. And then for the last one, our I is equals to 5. Very good. Okay, now, so we will now proceed with the substitution of the given to the formula. Okay.
So now we're gonna substitute the given into our formula. So the Q sub 3 class is equals to 3n over 4 is equals to 3 times 50 over 4, and then we come up with the 37.5. And then our given are LB is equals to 35.5, our N is equals to 50, our CF sub B is equals to 27, our F sub Q sub K is equals to 11, and then our I is equals to 5. And then the quartile 3 class is in the class interval 36 to 40. And then, so this is the formula for finding the quartile. So LB plus K times N over 4 minus CF sub B all over F sub Q3 times I. So now let's substitute the given. So the LB is 35.5, and then 3 times 50 over 4 this one. And then minus CF sub B is equals to 27 all over the F sub Q3 is equals to 11. And then we're gonna multiply it with 5 since the value of I is 5. So for next step, then we write here the 37.5, so this one. We're just gonna copy this one and then put it here. So next step, 37.5 minus 27, we have 10.5. And then 10.5 divide 11, we have 0.95. And then 0.95 times 5, we come up with 4.77. So we can simply add these two, the LB 35.5 plus 4.77, we have 40.27. So our quartile 3 is 40.27. Remember that the third quartile is equivalent to the 75th percentile. Therefore, 75% of the students got a score less than or equal to 40.27. So, based on this one, it really belongs here to this class interval 36 to 40. So, do you understand our lesson? Okay, very good. So, let us summarize our lesson for today. So, the different measures of position for group data. So, percentiles are values that divide a set of data into 100 equal parts. Percentiles are calculated for very large data. So, the formula is T sub k is equals to LB plus k times n over 100 minus CF sub b all over F sub b sub k times I. And then for deciles, deciles are values that divide a set of data into 10 equal parts. And the formula is D sub k is equals to LB plus k times n over 10 minus CF sub b all over F sub d sub k times I. And then for quartiles, quartiles are values that divide a set of data into 4 equal parts. Each part is equal to a quarter of the data. Q sub k is equals to LB plus k times n over 4 minus CF sub b all over F sub q sub k times I. Remember that for the percentile, we have the denominator 100. For decile, we have the denominator here 10. And then for quartile, we have the denominator here 4. And then we will just change the letters. For percentile, we use the letter P. For decile, we use the letter D. And then for quartile, we use the letter Q. Okay. That will be all for today. I hope that you have learned something, an additional learning for you to have as a grade 10 student. Again, this is Mrs. Aileen O, your Mathematics 10 teacher, and I believe in the saying that in mathematics, we never say I can. We always say I'll try. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and enable the notification bell for you to be updated for more videos. Thank you!